So good afternoon, students.
Happy afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay, this is our practical session, and yesterday we have seen that engineering physics is having term work, and how you can get term work related marks. So for that you have to perform certain amount of practicals. Okay, certain amount of experimentations are there. Yesterday you people have seen the list, and one by one in each session we are going to discuss one practical. As you people know that lockdown is going on and you people are at home, same is here. So of course we are not having the apparatus in our hand, but of course we can discuss the theory, and whenever it will be possible for us to have that instruments in real time, we will again work on that. Okay, so in continuation with the discussion that we have carried yesterday, first I'll show you people how your engineering physics lab manual looks, and then we will have discussion on the first experiment, that is nothing but Zener diode characteristics. Okay, so yesterday I have asked you people to enroll for the Genomio site. On that site I have uploaded the copy of practical lab manual. Okay, so for your convenience you have to download that copy, and whatever are the observations and calculations that you have to do after having the practical discussion, that you have to put on this PDF copy. Okay, so yesterday, as I have said, each and every course is having certain amounts of outcomes. For engineering physics, we have seen the 6 outcomes are there. Outcome number 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 6. Okay, and yesterday only I have told you people that in that 6 course outcomes, certain amount of outcomes are related to the theory, and certain amount of outcomes are related to practical. So can anybody give me the answer? How many are allotted for theory and how many are for the practical? Yesterday we have seen 6 outcomes. Okay. Is my voice reaching to you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So is that clear that we have seen 6 outcomes: CO1, CO2, CO3, CO4, CO5, CO6? Okay. So in that 6 COs, how many number of COs are related to theory and how many COs are related to practicals?
I think last CO was related to practical.
Okay. Any other student want to say something?
3.
Yes?
Ma'am, 3 for practical and 3 for theory.
Okay. I think this thing you have seen yesterday, course outcomes. So 6 statements are there. So in that 6 statements, first 4, recall basics of optics, sound and modern physics, CO1. Then CO2, explain phenomenon in optics, sound and modern physics. CO3, solve numerical based on optics, sound and modern physics. CO4, analyze the concepts of optics, sound and modern physics. These 4 COs are related to theory. Okay, and CO number 5 and 6, they are related to the practicals, and clearly you can see the names of the experiments are given in the CO5, that is nothing but the solar cell, Zener diode, transistor, and then in 6 there will be a reverberation time, energy band gap, wavelength determination, specific rotation calculation, GM counter, wavelength determination of ultrasonic waves. So like this, whatever are the practicals, they are provided in the CO number 5 and CO6. So if anybody asked after this time that how many COs are for the theory, then 4 COs are related to the theory syllabus, and 2 COs, that is CO number 5 and CO number 6, they are related to the practical. Okay, whenever you will perform any practical, either you will gain CO5 or CO6 based upon which practical you are performing. Like if I say today you have to perform the Zener diode related practical, then which CO you will get achieved? If you perform Zener diode characteristic related practical, then which outcome will get fulfilled? Fifth one. Fifth one. Because you can see in fifth it is said, interpret after completion of that particular practical, student will gain or student can interpret the characteristics of Zener diode. Okay, means you can achieve CO5 by completing the Zener diode related practical. Okay, so is there any doubt in the COs and the part that we have discussed up to this time? No. Okay.
No.
Some students have put. Okay. Okay. So index page. This is important. If you visit the institute in say in person, then you have to check this particular index page, and whatever are the marks that will be allotted on the index page itself. Okay, so for Zener diode characteristics, suppose you have performed a particular practical, then how many marks you can get? You can get 10 marks for the performance, and 9 marks will be there for your viva voce examination. Okay, so that viva voce examination is divided into 3 parts, that is 3 domains of the knowledge. One is cognitive, then affective, and then psychomotor. So questions will be asked to you people in such a manner that your knowledge, your attitude, and your psychomotor domain is going to be checked. Okay, so how to achieve that viva related marks? For that, for each and every practical, you will see such kind of table. If you can see on the screen, a table is provided which is related to the first practical, that is nothing but Zener diode, to study IV characteristics of Zener diode. Okay, so in that you can see that levels are provided. Cognitive is related to the knowledge of a student is evaluated. Then in affective domain, how you people respond to the questions, that is evaluated. And then in psychomotor domain, your ability to reproduce the data or your ability to manipulate the result is going to be checked. Okay, so as I said, there are 9 marks for the viva voce examination. So how that 9 marks are divided? They are divided into these 3 categories. Means for cognitive there will be 3 marks, for affective there will be 3 marks, and rest 3 marks are for the psychomotor domain. And what you need to do to achieve that marks? The level 3 gives the answer. Of course, I can't expect that each and every student for each and every practical they will satisfy the level number 3. So if any student somehow doesn't get a proper understanding and they falls in level 2 and level 1, then there will be a reduction marks, but of course there will not be any null evaluation. Okay, so if any student satisfies the level number 3 in each domain, then that student will get full marks, 9 out of 9, 3 for each domain. Okay, any student falls in the second category, then of course 2 marks will be allotted to him or her. Same will be for level 1. If any student doesn't fall in level 1 and 2 and 3, then of course that student will be in the level 1 and he or she will get the marks related to level 1, that is 1 1 1. In total there will be 3, and whatever are the marks that are added to the term work. Okay, so with respect to Zener diode characteristics, what you have to do, you have to understand the Zener diode apparatus and you have to describe the characteristics of Zener diode. Of course, at first we are going to have discussion what is Zener diode, how are the characteristics, but after that, maybe in the next week, if you people can able to describe that characteristics, means I can say that you have gained a complete knowledge related to the cognitive domain. Okay. Now, related to affective domain, statement is provided. Your willingness to respond to the questions and your involvement in active learning, that will be evaluated. And then psychomotor domain, if you can reproduce the data or you can reproduce the result after getting the instruction, then that will be the level 3 of psychomotor domain. Okay. So while conducting or while performing any practical, first if you understand this particular table, then it will be easy to gain high amount of marks. Besides mark, of course, knowledge is important. So how to get knowledge related to that practical, that we are going to see now. Is there any doubt up to this?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so we will see the first practical that is related to the Zener diode. For this, I'll go for the presentation. Okay, so with respect to any practical, there will be certain steps. Like first, we need to know what is the aim, why we are performing that practical, that one should know. So for the first practical, the aim is to study the characteristics of Zener diode. Okay. Next to that, we have to see what are the apparatus involved for that study. Means with the help of which equipment I can study the characteristics. That will be the apparatus part. Then for some of the experiment, of course, you need to use some kinds of formulae. So what kind of formulas are involved in that, that one need to understand. Then the theory related to that Zener diode. Then there will be certain observations that you have to do by understanding theory and by getting the equipment. Next part will be the calculations. For engineering physics, there are certain practicals where you have to draw the graph. So graph will be one important thing as far as some practicals are concerned. And then the final calculations and result. Okay. So these are the certain criteria or certain points that you people should understand while conducting or while having any kinds of experiment. Okay. So with respect to first practical, our aim is to study the characteristics of Zener diode. This table I have already shown to you. So we will move to the next step. Okay. So before starting this discussion on the Zener diode characteristics, I would like to ask you people, have you heard the word diode?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Then can you explain what is diode? If you have heard the word, then what is the meaning of the word diode?
Ma'am, it is a semiconductor.
It is
Yes. Yes, Pawan.
A semiconductor.
It is a semiconductor. Okay. Then
Ma'am, it is a one-way switch.
Switch act as a one-way switch.
it is an electrical component. It is a semiconducting device. Okay. So basically diode is nothing but a semiconducting device. Okay. Which can be used in various kinds of electrical circuit. As one student has said that it can be used as a switch, one-way switch. You can have the current flow in one direction. Okay. And that is if we want to have the specific answer for this or specific supporting statement for this, then that is applicable for the PN junction diode. Okay. So if we consider the diode is a huge family. Under that there are various kinds of components. So can you people give me the names of various kinds of diode that you might have heard or you might have seen? Types of diode.
And forward bias and reverse bias.
That are biasing conditions, that are not the types. I'm asking about the types of diode. Like one type I can say is Zener
Light
diode,
emitting diode,
light
PN
emitting
junction
diode.
diode.
Yes, LED.
LED is one type, then Zener diode that we are going to study is another type. Then
PN junction diode.
yes, PN junction diode is one type. Then
Ma'am, photodiode.
photodiode, yes, of course.
Ma'am, avalanche diode.
Avalanche diode.
Yes. Schottky diode,
Barrett diode.
yes. Tunnel diode, Schottky diode.
Schottky diode.
Yeah. So all these are various categories of diodes. If you see this diode word carefully, then you can get one thing. Just a second, I'll take the pointer. Okay, so if you observe this diode word carefully, then you can see we can divide the entire word into two parts. Okay, first will be die and second part will be ODE. So die means what? DI. Die stands for two, and ODE, it refers to electrode. Okay, so the devices, the semiconducting devices which are having two terminals can be termed as diodes. Okay, semiconducting devices having two terminals, that can be termed as diodes. Like here one image of the Zener diode is provided, and you can see it is having two diodes, two electrodes. So can you people say what is the particular names provided to that two electrodes? As we are saying, any kinds of diode, it is having two terminals.
And it is anode and cathode.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. With respect to diode, there are two electrodes. One electrode is known as cathode, another one is known as anode. Okay. So here the image is provided. One end is termed as cathode, which is having a negative sign. One end is having the positive sign and termed as anode. Now if such kind of diode or such kind of image is provided to you, then how you can recognize which one is cathode and which one is anode? If a diode is provided to you, yes,
And maybe through the direction of current. The current is from negative to positive. So like that.
just by observing diode, can you say which one is cathode and which one is anode? Current flow we can check if we add some circuitry, if we add voltmeter or galvanometer, then of course one can say. But just observing the diode, can you recognize the electrodes?
Ma'am, by seeing the symbol of diode, which is triangular and one straight line, by that we can tell that a triangular region is positive and that slash is
But that is
negative.
related to the symbol. I'm asking if see, whatever is the symbol, in actual diode doesn't look like that. Is that okay? Is that clear to you, all of you? Symbol is a different thing, but in hard format, if you observe the diode, it will look like the image provided on the screen. So by seeing the diode in hard format, can you recognize? Yes or no? You can put in the chat box. If yes,
No, ma'am.
you have to give the answer.
No, ma'am.
Those are saying yes, they have to give the
Yes,
answer.
ma'am.
Okay, how?
Yes.
मैम हम ये लेफ्ट साइड का अगर देखेंगे तो उसमें जो ब्लैक पार्ट है उसको देख के
Yes. If you observe the diode carefully, then you will see there is a black strip at one end. Okay. Here you can see black strip is at one end only. Other end it is not having any kind of color format, or it is the internal part you can see over there. So that black colored line refers to the cathode. So if at any moment of time you get a Zener diode or PN junction diode in hard format in front of you, then you have to check where is that black colored line. Wherever is the black colored line, that will be a cathode. Another terminal will be the anode. Because why this is important? To connect any diode, while connecting any diode in electrical circuit, how you are making connection, that is of high importance. Like one student has said that there will be a forward bias and reverse bias. So how one can get forward and reverse biasing conditions? That are by connecting this diode in a proper manner. If you connect positive terminal or positive terminal of the anode or positive end of the diode to the positive terminal of the battery and negative end to the negative end of the battery, then there will be a forward biasing conditions. And if you alter the connection, there will be a reverse biasing conditions. So connecting diode in a proper manner is highly required, and for that you should know or you should have the knowledge related to the cathodes and anode. Which one is the cathode and which one is the anode? Simple trick is you have to see where is that black colored line. Okay, so that will be at one end only. And another thing, the symbol of the Zener diode is provided here. There will be a triangle, then Z like symbol will be there at the tip of that arrow. So that tip and that Z like symbol refers to the cathode. Another end is of course anode. Okay, so this is related to the actual structure and symbol of the Zener diode. Now moving towards the characteristics, at the end what you will get, of course we have to study these characteristics in forward bias and reverse bias. What we have said in the aim, we are going to study the characteristics of Zener diode, and that characteristics will be IV characteristics. IV characteristics means current voltage characteristics. So while studying IV characteristics, we have to apply the voltage to the Zener diode, and due to that voltage what amount of current is generated in that Zener diode, that we have to observe. So applying voltage and getting current, that will be related to the IV characteristics, and that we have to perform in forward bias as well as in reverse bias. Okay, so at the end you will get such kind of graph. In this practical you have to draw the graph with respect to the readings that you will get after the performance, actual performance. Okay, we are going to discuss about this particular graph after some time. Okay, as I said, to study the characteristics one should have the apparatus, and this is the apparatus which is used to study the Zener diode characteristic. Okay, so what you can see on the picture, what are the components that are involved to study the Zener diode characteristics. You can zoom the picture if it is possible at your end, and then
Yes, ma'am.
yes, then tell
Ma'am,
me.
voltage regulator.
Yes, voltage regulators are provided. Two voltage regulators are there, one at this end, one on the other end. Then what are the rest of the things?
Ma'am, switch.
Ma'am, input voltage.
Yes, a switch is provided, a main switch to make this circuit or to make this apparatus on. Okay, next to that, switch is there.
And there is also ammeter, I think.
Ammeter is also there. How many ammeters you people can see?
2 ammeters and 2
One.
voltmeters.
Two ammeters, and with respect to that 2 ammeters, 2 voltmeters are also there. Okay, the connection done. 1 minute, one student has put something in the chat box. So the connection is done in reverse bias. Akib want to say something. Yes, Akib. Actually, we have to connect Zener diode in both the biasing forward as well as in reverse. Okay. Okay. So 2 voltmeters are there and 2 ammeters are there. As I have said, to study the characteristics, what you have to do, you have to apply the voltage. Now, in order to apply the voltage regulators are provided. Here you can see 2 knobs are there, one on the left side, one on the right side. Okay. With the help of that, you can achieve the voltage that you want to supply to the diode. Here you can see 2 diodes are connected. Here one is connected in forward bias and one is connected in the reverse bias. Okay. Where that connections are made, that connections are made to the power supply. Whenever you want to study the characteristics of any semiconducting device, of course you need to connect the battery, you need to have power supply. By applying some amount of power, you can achieve the characteristics. So same is done over here. Okay. So here in this apparatus, on internal side, 2 diodes are selected. One is connected to the battery in forward bias. Forward bias means anode is connected to the positive end of the battery and cathode is connected to the negative end of the battery. Okay. So that will achieve the forward biasing condition. Then in reverse biasing, anode is connected to the negative terminal and cathode is connected to the positive terminal. Okay. So with the help of voltage set volt knob, you can apply the voltage. Due to that voltage, whatever is the current generated, that current generation you can see through the ammeter, milliammeter. Okay. So 1 milliammeter is seen in the forward bias characteristics. One is useful while having the reverse bias related characteristics. Okay. So that is related, and of course to make the proper connection, certain wires are provided. So while studying the forward bias characteristics, you have to make the proper connection over here, and same will be for the reverse bias. Okay. So after this, of course, before going towards the actual measurement, you need to calculate list count of all the voltmeters and milliammeters provided over there. Okay. So before going towards that measurement, I would like to ask you people, do you have the knowledge of the word list count? What is list count and how to calculate that one? Yes. Anybody? What is the meaning of the term list count?
मैम सबसे कम वैल्यू.
Yes, list means minimum, count means value. Means with the help of that particular meter, see here you can see the meters. So each and every meter is having particular amount of scale. Okay. So what kind of minimum measurement you can get through that meter, that will be the list count of that meter. Okay. Like you people might be having scale with you right now. So that scale is also having a particular list count. Okay. So we have to see what is the list count of voltmeter, milliammeter, which are used in the forward biasing, and same forward for the reverse biasing, milliammeter and voltmeter used in the reverse biasing. So who will tell me how to calculate the list count?
मैम प्लीज. Voltmeter is 1/10.
Voltmeter is 1/10. Okay. What is the logic behind it? How you have taken 1/10?
Ma'am, 10 division is equal to 1 volt. So
Okay, we will talk about this after
Ma'am, list count is main scale reading divided by total number of divisions on main scale.
main scale reading divided by total number. Okay, I'll show you the enlarged version of this voltmeter and ammeter. Then you have to go for the measurement. Okay, and then I'll check your answer. Okay, just first I'll give the instructions what you need to do. So in this experiment, first you have to calculate the list count of each and every meter, so that after deflection you will get the what amount of reading is generated on the meters. Okay, so for that, knowledge of list count is required. Next to that, as I said, in this while studying the characteristics of Zener diode, first you need to apply the forward bias, and then there will be a reverse bias. Okay, so in forward, by making the proper connection related to forward bias, you have to apply the voltage in a particular manner, and with respect to each and every voltage, what amount of current is generated, that you have to note down. Okay, next, same procedure you have to repeat for the reverse bias. Apply the voltage and check what amount of current is there. So by making this, you can plot such kind of graph. On a graph paper, you have to make the 4 sections. The first quadrant will be there for the forward biasing characteristics. Third quadrant will be there for the reverse bias characteristics. Of course, if you take the conventional graph plotting methods, then this first quadrant is the positive one, and third quadrant is the negative. But here we are not having any kinds of negative reading. Then also positive readings we are going to plot in the third quadrant. That is just to have the entire picture of the Zener diode characteristics. So whatever are the readings related to the forward bias, that you are going to put in the first quadrant, and the readings related to the reverse biasing you are going to put in the third quadrant. Okay, now this is related to the procedure. Now, while understanding characteristics of any kinds of diode, you should have the knowledge related to the junction properties. Okay, like here what you can see, in case of forward bias, at first there will be zero amount of reading, then there will be a particular point from where there will be a sudden increase in the forward current. Okay, if you see the Zener diode characteristics in reverse bias, then you can observe at first for high amount of time there will be zero amount of current. If you increase the voltage of Zener diode in reverse biasing, at first there will be zero amount of current. Then there will be a one point from where there will be increase in the reverse current, and after that point there will be huge amount of increase in the current. So these are the characteristics. Now how these characteristics are generated, what happens in that Zener diode in actual, that we have to understand at first, and for that you should have the knowledge of PN junction, or you should have the knowledge related to the PN junction diode. So have you studied the PN junction diode in the 12th category?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so how PN junctions are formed and what are the characteristics of PN junction, that you people understand very clearly. So before going towards Zener diode related experimentation, I would like to show you one video that I like most, because in the animated portion they have explained how the junctions are created and what happens at the junction when you apply certain amounts of voltage. Okay, so that we will see first, and then we will have the discussion. Just a second.
PN junction and diodes. To increase the practical utility of a P or N-type semiconductor, a PN junction is created in the semiconductor crystal. Here, one half is P-type and the other is N-type. PN junction is the arrangement obtained when a P-type semiconductor is joined to an N-type semiconductor. Displayed here is a p-n junction. Immediately after it is formed, the p region contains holes which are mobile and negatively charged impurity ions, which are immobile, and the n region contains positively charged impurity ions, which are immobile and mobile electrons. Many electronic devices use p-n junctions. p-n junction. As soon as a p-n junction is formed, electrons from n-type material and holes from p-type material diffuse into p-type and n-type material respectively. The electrons and holes diffusing towards each other combine near the junction. Each recombination eliminates an electron and a hole. As a result, the positive donor ions in the n region and the negative acceptor ions in the p region are left uncompensated, and this region forms the depletion region. The region of a p-n junction containing the uncompensated acceptor and donor ions is known as the depletion region. This region is named so because it is depleted of mobile charge carriers. The holes trying to enter the p region are repelled by the uncompensated positive charge on the donor ions, and the electrons trying to enter the n region are repelled by the uncompensated negative charge on the acceptor ions. As a result, potential difference is established across the junction. Soon, it becomes large enough to prevent any further movement of charge carriers. This is called potential barrier or junction barrier or height of the barrier. From the figure, you can clearly see that the potential barrier VO that is set up gives rise to an electric field that prevents the respective majority carriers from crossing the barrier region. Now, let us see what happens when the negative terminal of the battery is connected to p-type region and positive terminal to the n-type region. Observe whether there is any deflection in the ammeter. As no current flows through the circuit, the ammeter reading is 0. This is because the negative electrons in the n-type region get attracted to the positive terminal of the battery, and the positive holes in the p-type silicon get attracted to the negative terminal of the battery. That is, the reverse bias removes the majority carriers, thus increasing the potential barrier. Current flows through the junction if the p-n junction is connected to the battery as shown here. Holes and free electrons enter the depletion region due to repulsion at the respective terminals. The reduction of the potential difference and the width of this region causes a large number of majority charge carriers to diffuse across the junction. Holes travel to the right and electrons to the left, constituting a current in the same direction. Thus, the p-n junction allows current carriers to flow through it if the junction is forward biased. A device that allows the current to flow only in one direction is called a diode. Thus, p-n junction can be described as a diode.
Okay, so what is observed through the video, whenever a P and N kind of material comes in contact with each other, there will be a formation of p-n junction. That p-n junction is termed as a potential barrier or depletion region. Okay, it creates the barrier for the potential. Next, depending upon the application of voltage, either in forward bias or reverse bias, there will be certain amount of changes in the junction barrier. Okay, if you apply forward biasing condition, that what happens over there after application of... Yes, Prachi?
Ma'am, current flows easily.
Current flows easily. That junction barrier gets break, or width of that junction barrier reduces, and we can have the current through the diode. In case of reverse bias, what happens over there? Sanika?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What happens in
reverse bias, negative terminal is connect. The holes in the p regions are and electrons in the n region move in the opposite direction.
Yes. Due to that, there will be increase in the potential barrier and there will be no flow of the current. Okay. So that is
Yes,
case
ma'am.
of the basically PN junction diode. Whatever I have seen, if you plot the values related to that and if you take the graph, then that will be the characteristics of PN junction diode. Why I have seen the characteristics of PN junction diode and not the Zener diode? Because I want the explanation from you people. See, Zener diode is nothing but the what we can say, the higher version of the PN junction diode. Basically in PN junction diode, what we have seen, there is current flow in only one direction when there is a forward biasing condition. In other direction means if you connect the PN junction diode in reverse biasing, there will not be any kinds of current flow. Whatever is the current flow, of course in that also you can get certain amount of current in reverse biasing. Reverse current is generated over there. That is due to the minority charge carriers. Okay, and due to that current, it may happen that the diode will get break. Okay, if that current flows, reverse current flows for the high amount of time, then there will be a damage in the PN junction diode. To avoid that particular issue and to have the diode in a such a manner that it should have the working in forward as well as in reverse bias, these Zener diodes are created. While having the construction of Zener diode, again the same kind of things are done as like the PN junction diode. A P type material is selected, a N type material is selected, their combination is taken, but while having that combination, high amount of doping is done. Okay, so if you search for the Zener diode, then you will get that it is the highly doped the diodes. Okay, now before having the discussion on this particular issue, I would like to ask you people, what is the term doping? What do you mean by the term doping and how it is done?
Ma'am, when two elements with different valencies are mixed, then there is a vacancy or extra electrons, which we call as doping, this process.
The process of adding impurities is termed as the doping, and by having the doping we can increase the charge carriers. Either there may be a positive charge carriers or negative charge carriers. Okay, so for that various kinds of materials are available. Certain materials, they are termed as N type materials or the third vacancy elements, or some are pentavalent materials. Okay, so by having that incorporation of that materials, one can achieve the doping. Okay, so in case of Zener diode, while having the construction of Zener diode, high amount of doping is done in order to achieve the conduction in both the directions, in forward as well as in the reverse direction, and due to that only you can get such kind of graph which is shown over the slide. Okay, now as I said, how one can achieve that graph and what is the explanation of this graph, that is the part of our next session, and of course that discussion will be from your side. Today what we will do, today we will have the observations with respect to this Zener diode apparatus, and then we will see how are the readings. Okay, so before going towards this, I'll show you the enlarged version of these meters and you have to calculate the observations. So I would like to ask you, is that lab manual with you right now, or it is maybe in the PDF form? Downloaded form is not available with you right now. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
If that is the
Yes, we
case,
can download.
yeah, of course you can download, but for this
No.
moment, what you can do, you can note down these 4 things. Okay, first write down these 4 things and then we will have the calculation of the values. I'll give you 1 minute. to note down these 4 points?
Ma'am, that we have to write on that MIT pages or normal
No,
pages.
for this moment you can have any rough paper and you can write down. For the submission kind of thing, download the PDF, then with the help of PDF editor put the values on the blank spaces and then upload the copy.
Okay, ma'am.
How to upload and all that things that we will see in the next week. I don't want to give you a high amount of burden at this moment. Today we will have the discussion and in the next week we will have the uploading and other things. If you people can get hard copy of this PDF, if you can take the printout, then that will be very useful, because if the lockdown gets over and you people come to the college in person, then at the time of submission you have to give that hard formats to the teacher, and that is applicable for each and every course who is having the practicals. So have the hard copy of the manual, and that will be more convenient for you people as well as for teachers. Okay, so hope you people have noted that 4 points. Okay, now as it is written, we have to first see what is the list count of voltmeter and milliammeter which are used for forward biasing, and what is the list count of milliammeter and voltmeter used for the reverse biasing. So first I'll give you the image. These 2 meters are used for the forward biasing because forward bias is written over here. Okay, so here I'll zoom the image and you can see how is the scale. Okay, so how is the scale? Can anybody tell? What are the points that you can see with respect to this voltmeter? Is the scale visible to all of you?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what points you can see on the scale?
मैम गैप है 2 का
2 2. Okay, see here it is written. Yes,
Ma'am, 10 divisions are equal to 0.2 volts.
yes, 10 divisions. See, first this 10 divisions, they are nothing but the related to 0.2. Then you can see 0.4, 0.6, 0.8 and 1. Maybe due to the clarity of the picture it is not visible that a point is provided over here, but for that, by considering that things on below to the voltmeter it is written 1 volt, means this particular scale is having 1 volt maximum potential, or the highest reading will be the 1 volt for this particular meter. Means by considering that, the first point will be 0.2, then 0.4, then 0.6, 0.8, like this, and in between any 2 readings that are mentioned on the scale, there will be 10 divisions. Okay, so like I have said, you people are having a ruler with you, or you people are having a watch in your hand, or on the wall there will be a clock. So what is the list count of the watch or clock that you can detect? What is the list count with respect to any kind of clock? Can you answer that question? What is the list count of
0.1 second
0.1 second? Okay. With respect to ruler, what is the list count? If you are having ruler right now, you can see that ruler and give me the list count of that particular scale.
0.1.
0.1 watt, kilometer, centimeter, millimeter.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. 0.1
सेंटीमीटर में.
centimeter, or we can say 1 millimeter. Okay. So here
1 minute, yes.
this is a voltage related scale, and the points you can see is 0, then 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1. Okay. So whatever we have said with respect to ruler, 1 millimeter is the least count, means value of a single line is 1 millimeter, or minimum measurement that we can take with the help of that ruler is 1 millimeter. So like this you have to say what will be the least count of this particular meter. What is the value of a single line, or what amount of minimum measurement you can do with the help of this particular scale that you have to take.
0.02 volts.
0.02. Okay, how it comes? See, there is a simple procedure. After 0 you can see 0.2 over here. Okay, so you have to write down 0.2. Then how many divisions are there in between 0 and 0.2? 10 divisions are there. So 0.2 divided by 10, it will become 0.02. So that will be the least count of this particular meter. Is that clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Next to this, I'll show the milliammeter, which is used for the forward bias characteristics. Now give me the least count of this particular meter.
Yes, sir. 0.25 least count.
What is the answer?
0.25 milliampere.
0.25 milliampere.
Least
Simple
least
are the
count.
calculations. 2.5 divided by 10. 10 divisions are there in between 0 and 2.5. So 2.5 divided by 10, it will become 0.25 milliampere. We are talking about milliampere scale. So the unit will be milliampere. 0.25 milliampere will be the answer of this particular second number point. Okay. So like this we are going to do for the reverse bias characteristics related meters. Okay. Just a second. Okay, so this is the milliammeter that is used for the reverse bias. So you have to give me the least count.
Zero 0.25.
Same, both the meters are same scale is there. So 2.5 divided by 10 will be the answer of the least count of milliammeter in reverse bias, and that is nothing but 0.25 milliampere.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, the voltmeter, which is used in the reverse bias. Yes, what will be the least count?
0.2 volts.
0.2. Here you can see the scale is different. It is having the 10 volt maximum value. So the points are given, or the numbers that we can see on the scale are first 0, then 2, then 4, 6, 8, 10, with a gap of 10 divisions. Okay, so 2 divided by 10 will be the least count of this particular meter, and that the answer is 0.2. Okay, so these are the observations that you have to do while having this particular practical. Akanksha Pandey had joined. Akanksha, we are having 5 minutes time to start our TGS meeting. So if you want to stay here, you can stay. Otherwise, you can leave the meeting for 5 minutes. Okay. So these are the observations. Now with respect to this particular practical, we have covered the one point, that is nothing but the observation related point. Next to that, of course, this observation table is there, and as you people are not having the apparatus in your hand, and same is with respect to me, so what I'll do, I'll give you the readings with respect to this Zener diode characteristics. So readings are displayed on the screen. You can take the screenshots, and what to do after that, that I will tell to you. Okay, first take the screenshot so that you can complete the next work. Okay, so what amount of or what kind of readings are provided? In forward bias, we have seen the scale is with a difference of 0.2 voltage. So you have to take readings for first 0.1, then 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. Then with respect to that voltage, whatever amount of current is there in that meter, that you have to note down. Okay, and like this there will be the readings for the forward biasing. Next to that, in reverse biasing, you have to apply the voltage with the help of voltage related knob, set volt knob, and due to application of voltage, whatever is the current, that you have to note down. Okay, now next to that, you have to plot the graph which is shown over here. So in your lab manual, you will see a graph paper is provided. So on that graph paper, you have to plot the graph. If you are not having hard copy right now, don't worry, we are having 1 week time. Maybe before next practical, you can get the hard copy, and then you can go for the further part, plotting the graph. Okay, next to that, what results are expected from this particular practical? That the first result is you have to plot the graph in forward and reverse bias characteristics of Zener diode. Okay, next to that, you have to calculate the forward resistance of the Zener diode. Okay, so second point is you have to calculate the resistance of the Zener diode, that will be the forward resistance. Next to that, certain points are provided, and that are most important as far as this practical is concerned. That is nothing but the calculation of Zener breakdown voltage, Zener breakdown current, and Zener breakdown resistance. Okay, now what is this Zener breakdown voltage, Zener breakdown current, and Zener breakdown resistance? That you have to answer on the blank page provided in the lab manual. In lab manual, after each and every practical, one blank page is provided, and through that blank page, of course, I'll give you some questions. You have to find out the answers, and that answers you are going to put over there, and that will be one part of the Viva Voce examination. Because as I said, in that CAPT, that cognitive related domain is nothing but the understanding the knowledge related to that practical. So what kind of knowledge you are having, that I can get with the help of answers that you are going to provide with respect to these questions. Okay, so you have to find out what is the Zener breakdown voltage, Zener breakdown current, and Zener breakdown resistance. And next question is basically whenever you will type Zener diode on the Google, you will get one statement like Zener diode used as a voltage regulator. So why did Zener diodes they are used as voltage regulator, that you have to answer. Okay, so these are certain amount of questions that I would like to pose through here. Then 2 links are there that I'll give you in the chat box with respect to this practical. That will be a homework for you people. Okay, just a second. I think while giving the comments in the chat box, that meeting has left, but don't worry, I'll give that links, I'll share that links with all of you. Now what you people are going to do, have that readings, with the help of that readings plot the graph and then try to answer all that questions. Further discussion we will do in the next week. Is that okay? Is that okay with all? Okay. Okay, then you people can leave the meeting because I am having another meeting right now, TGS meeting. Okay, so FYE division students can leave the meeting and just a second. Attendance is the most important part, and as I have left the meeting from my laptop, attendance will be a critical issue. So just a second. Just a second. So anybody from you can take a screenshot and that can be shared with me. Okay, anyone, you people can stay here for another 1 or 2 minutes, take a screenshot and share that screenshot with me. I'll consider your attendance. And FYB division students,